time for another video. We're going to focus on May 2025 new releases in this video. I'm going to saunter through quite a number of CDs, MP3s, call them what you will, that I've downloaded, and I've given my pennyworth to them. Excuse the noise outside. I will be relocating shortly to a quieter residence, and I'm hoping my video uptake will increase as well. I've been very restrictive because of the noise being heard on the videos, so my apologies for that. But back to May 2025. The first one I'm going to look at is by a favourite African artist of mine from Mali. His name is Salif Keita, and a new release came out in May called Sokono. He had announced his retirement in 2018, but few of us were convinced that he had packed away his guitar for the last time, and of course his magical singing voice. And apparently he was coaxed back into the spotlight back in 2023 at the age of 73 when he played a festival in Japan, and in his hotel room afterwards he apparently picked up his guitar, and with the help of a flute, a lute and a calabash, which is a percussion instrument, recorded these 9 tracks. Well, at its best, Keita's music has an extraordinary lushness to it. Stripped of this, there's still a brittle, unavoidable magic in the air. His voice is magnificent, the songs simple and moving. He revisits Tassé from 2012's Tate, and Laban, which we first heard on 2005's excellent Mbemba. I love that album, so I was warm to hear that. But the highlight may be his tribute to the guitarist Kante Mafila, who guided Keita for more than 3 decades. So get to listen to it. Sokono by Salif Keita. Second MP3 for May 2025 that I want to comment on briefly is an album by a band called the Flower Kings. It's called Love. I don't know this one, but it's progressive rock, which is an area that I loved in the 60s, but to some extent find very predictable now. But anyway, this is prog in 2025, and there's a lot to appreciate it. In fact, it's pretty special, I've found. Lacks a bit of an emotion, but it's beautifully played, and there's an 11-minute epic on it which stands out. It's called The Elder. Lots of sparkling pianos, soaring guitar solos. Think Yes, the closer to the edge, epitomizes that considerations, and the writer Michael Stolt features on killer keyboard on a track called Considerations. Oh, sorry, I messed up the reading there. Okay, so there we have it. Love, Flower Kings. Next new release is by an artist called Mia Simons, and the album is called Animaru. Effort blend of breezy bossa nova and intricate jazz here, with some mathy in the rock. Another idiosyncrasy of the girl's music is the lyrics that go back and forth between English and Japanese, even within a song. It's enchanting. The last track has the feel of a waltz as well. Worth listening to. So, next up on this new release video is by, well, a legend really of guitar heroes in my musical house. His name's Robin Trower, and for you young listeners, Robin Trower was the guitarist with a band who hit fame in the 60s, and their name was Procol Harum. Now, Robin Trower went solo at the beginning of the 70s, and this is his 28th album. It's Come and Find Me. I lost touch with this guy in the mid-70s, I have to admit, although he did make a couple of albums with Jack Bruce, and has obviously continued with a lengthy solo career. And what a guitar player he is. Highly influenced by Jimi Hendrix, and he produces some gorgeous licks on this album, and you can imagine him as a young man dishing out those Hendrix copies. This album is not Bridges' size, however, but it's still pretty impressive. He also isn't afraid to share the lead with other artists. There's a guitarist called Jess Hayes who plays some wah-wah guitar on Tangled Love, sharing the duties with Trower. So get to listen to it if you're into lead guitar solos and you like them polished and full of quality. Come and find Robin Trower. This next one is The Head and the Heart. It's their 6th album. It's called Aperture. They produced the album themselves. Apparently it's a bigger team on this album. They're described as a folk country mix. I love Fire Escape. It bounces along, and the slow ballad, Finally Free, is moving. A second listening, and I'm sure I will continue to grow in appreciation of this band. Next up is Maren Morris, not a new artist to me. The album's Dreamsicle, dreamy, smoochy pop album. This is her 4th offering, but she also experiments on Dreamsicle, the dreamy title track. It's lightly strummed guitars and her airy vocals about the fleeting charming nature of dreams. It recalls a little bit Karen Carpenter to me. Not too sure where I'm recommending this one. A bit too poppy for me. Next up is an album by Charlie Musselwhite. It's called Lookout Highway. Musselwhite is a blues artist, but this is the first time in a very long career that he's used his touring band in the studio. The raw, infectious shuffle of the blues of Highway 61 reminds me of how good this can sound. There are excerpts of harmonica on the album that remind me constantly that the blues is alive. Good stuff. Another veteran artist released an album named Suzanne Vega. I have to confess I have a handful of albums but rarely listen to her. Anyway, she's released a new one. It's called Flying with Angels. Her debut was way back in 1985. Then she was a smart, fresh, new voice from New York City's urban folk scenes. Flying with Angels is Vega's first set of original songs since 2014. That album was Tales from the Realm of the Queen of Pentak. Don't know what to say about it. It's pleasant. Next up is a new album by The Cooks. That's Kooks. It's their 7th album and it's called Never Knows. I got into the Kooks a few years ago. A couple of their albums I really enjoyed. I like their energy. Indie rock is of course what they deliver, and it's sort of a little bit on this album. You can hear snatches of the Police and Arctic Monkeys and the Beatles, in fact, on Echo Chamber. This has a subtle Leninist type quality to it. Arrow Through Me is also a faithful cover of Paul McCartney and Wings song, and I sense that there are a few more plays of this and this album will grow on me. So let's get it. Never Knows, the Kooks. Next offering is an album called Cover the Mirrors. It's by an artist called Ben Queller. Got a few of his albums, quite like his style, American artist. This one is quite a sad album, really. It's based around the tragedy of the death of his son in a car accident. It's his 7th solo album, and it's very deep, very deep. Going Insane opens them up, and it sort of sets really the tone. Links the piano along with strings and Ben's vocals. Dollar Store features Waxahachie on shared vocals, and has a grunge feel to it. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. Well played. Next new release is the Canadian band Arcade Fire. It's called Pink Elephant. Now, I love their first 2 albums, Burial and Neon Fire, I think. And then I lost touch with them, really, although I think I've got all the albums. Initially, what captivated me was the vocal style, which owed a lot to Echo and the Bunnymen, and the indie tone. This is their 7th album anyway, and what can I say about it? Well, it didn't hit any high notes to me. Very restrained rock. Single Year of the Snake is a track that I recall, very punchy. And after a couple of listens, none of the tracks could be recalled. So, now you've got it. If you're a fan, you'll love it. Next new release, Garbage. Let All That We Imagine Be the Like. Been an admirer of Garbage right from their early days. This is their 8th studio. It's not up to the debut or V2, but it's okay. It's a bit heavy for me, I have to say. A bit heavy. It's grunge pop sound, and I find that the tracks don't have a distinctive feel to them, but it's certainly atypical of their sound. A little taste of the tracks. There's No Future in Optimism. That's familiar sonically of Garbage's delivery. Distorted guitar fuzz, pulsing bass, and Sat Manson's fiery vocals. Chinese Fire Horses has a blistering rebuttal to Ages and Doubt, and Hold reminds me of smoky live atmospherics with the Banshees on stage with their gothic stir, reminiscence of my visits to Rock City in Nottingham for live gigs. Next track on this rather lengthy video. This is by Marc Ribot and it's called Map of Blue City. And Marc Ribot has made his career by being a studio musician and worked on numerous people's albums. He's a guitar player, generally speaking, but here it's his first album of his own, and it's got an acoustic guitar feel to it. He sounds a little bit like a young version of Leonard Cohen, it has to be said, and very mysterious and atmospheric, very tribal. Touch on the tracks. Track forward's Daddy's Trip to Brazil. It's like a Hanover post-punk echo of Joe Bean's famous Wave, importing the NU of a late capitalist touring musician into the tropicalism paradise. There's some tasteful guitar solo, as you would expect, which merges with keyboards. And the title track, a taste of bossa nova on this. The song describes waking up on an elevated train platform somewhere in New York City. Oh yeah, maybe Coney Island, and not knowing where you are. The title apparently came from the daughter, he says, who when she was 7 loved drawing complicated maps. Okay, so I must admit I found it a bit plain, but I'm sure it will find a home in somebody's house. Marc Ribot, Map of a Blue City.